Have you ever heard of a goddess so powerful, so fierce, that ancient Egyptians created over 700 statues of her in a single temple? Today, we're diving into the mystery of the statues of Sekhmet, the lioness goddess of ancient Egypt, a deity of both destruction and healing whose power has puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries. Let's travel back in time, more than 3,000 years, to the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep III. This was a golden age for Egypt, a time of immense wealth, power, and artistic achievement. Amenhotep III, one of the most prolific builders in Egyptian history, commissioned a staggering number of monuments, temples, and statues. But among all his projects, one stands out for its sheer scale and baffling purpose: the hundreds upon hundreds of granite statues of Sekhmet. These weren't small trinkets. We're talking about life-sized or even larger-than-life statues, carved from hard, dark granodiorite, depicting the goddess in two forms, seated majestically on a throne, holding the ankh, the symbol of life, and standing tall, holding a papyrus scepter. Each one is a masterpiece, radiating an aura of intimidating power. Her face is that of a lioness, crowned with a sun disk and the uraeus cobra, symbolizing her connection to the sun god Ra and her royal authority. The main concentration of these statues was found at Amenhotep II's mortuary temple in Qam el-Hettan, on the west bank of Thebes, modern-day Luxor. Imagine walking into this temple complex and being surrounded by an army of stone lionesses, their eyes seeming to follow you, their presence overwhelming. Archaeologists have unearthed more than 730 of these statues, and they believe the original number might have been even higher, possibly 2 for every single day of the year. Why? Why this unprecedented effort for one goddess? This is where the mystery deepens. One leading theory suggests a desperate attempt to appease a furious deity. Sekhmet, whose name means she who is powerful, was a terrifying figure in Egyptian mythology. She was the daughter of the sun god Ra, his avenger. The Eye of Ra, legend tells of a time when humanity rebelled against the aging sun god. Enraged, Ra sent Sekhmet to punish them. She unleashed a bloodthirsty rampage, slaughtering humans with such ferocity that the fields ran red. She became so lost in her frenzy that she almost wiped out all of humanity. The gods, horrified, had to trick her to stop the massacre. They brewed vast quantities of beer, dyed it red to look like blood, and poured it all over the land. Sekhmet, thinking it was more blood, drank it all, became intoxicated, and finally calmed down, transforming into the gentle, benevolent goddess Hathor. So, could Amenhotep's statues have been an attempt to prevent a similar catastrophe? Some Egyptologists believe that a devastating plague may have swept through Egypt during his reign. In a world without modern medicine, a plague would have been seen as a divine punishment, a real-life rampage by Sekhmet herself. The pharaoh, as the intermediary between the gods and his people, would have been desperate to soothe the angry goddess. What better way than to honor her with a daily ritual, one for each of her statues, every day of the year? Each statue would have been part of a massive, ongoing litany, a constant prayer to keep her destructive side at bay and invoke her healing aspect. Because that's the fascinating duality of Sekhmet. She wasn't just a goddess of destruction. She was also a powerful patron of healers and physicians. Her priests were often skilled doctors who could soothe the goddess and channel her power for healing. So, by honoring her, Amenhotep wasn't just trying to stop the plague. He was also trying to activate her power to cure it. The temple would have functioned like a massive stone machine for divine healing, with each statue acting as a conduit for her restorative energy. This theory is compelling, but it's not the only one. Another perspective focuses on the solar and cosmic significance of the statues. The daily rituals might have been part of a complex system to maintain cosmic balance, or Ma'at, the fundamental order of the universe. Sekhmet, as the fiery eye of Ra, was intrinsically linked to the sun's cycle. The twin statues for each day, one seated and one standing, might have represented different phases of the day or the goddess's dual nature, her calm, enthroned aspect and her active, protective aspect. By performing rituals at each statue, The priests would have ensured the sun's successful journey through the sky and the underworld, warding off the forces of chaos that threaten creation every single night. The entire project would have been a monumental effort to harmonize the kingdom of Egypt with the rhythm of the cosmos itself. And then there's the sheer political statement of it all. Imagine the resources required. Quarrying massive blocks of granodiorite from Aswan, hundreds of miles to the south, transporting them up the Nile, and then employing an army of skilled artisans to carve, with precision, hundreds of identical yet unique statues. This was a display of wealth and logistical power on an unimaginable scale. Amenhotep III was showing his rivals, and his own people, that he had the favor of the gods and the resources of a superpower. He could command not just man, but an army of stone goddesses to protect his reign and his legacy. What makes this story even more incredible is what happened after Amenhotep's death. Later pharaohs, including the famous Ramesses II, recognized the immense spiritual power and practical value of these statues. They moved hundreds of them from Amenhotep's now decaying mortuary temple to new locations, most notably the precinct of Mut at Karnak, another temple complex dedicated to a powerful goddess who was often syncretized with Sekhmet. It was as if they were recycling divine energy, moving these powerful batteries of sacred power to where they were needed most. This is why you can find Sekhmet statues from Amenhotep's reign in museums all over the world, from the British Museum in London to the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. They were scattered, repurposed, but their power was never forgotten. Even today, the statues of Sekhmet carry an undeniable presence. Visitors who stand before them often speak of a palpable energy, a feeling of being in the presence of something ancient and immensely powerful. Whether you see them as a desperate plea to stop a plague, a cosmic clock meant to maintain universal order, or a pharaoh's ultimate power play, one thing is certain. The mystery of the Sekhmet statues is a testament to the complex, inspiring, and sometimes terrifying world of ancient Egyptian belief. They are a powerful reminder that for the ancient Egyptians, the gods were not distant figures, but active forces that shaped every aspect of life and death. What do you think? Why would a pharaoh commission such a mind-boggling number of statues for one goddess? Was it fear, faith, or a show of force? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of ancient Egypt. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the mysteries of the past. See you next time.